Yo, what's going on, guys? So today in this video, I'm basically going to be making another WWE video similar to the one I made yesterday, but about a different wrestler. And like I said in my last video, I talked about how I'm going to, try to do these WWE videos, screen recording, and just screen recording videos more often in general. But especially with WWE, I'm going to try to do this, just screen recording videos, talking, giving my opinions because man, I love WWE. Um, and I there's just there's just certain stuff that I wanted to talk about for a while and I just never did because I just been lazy for a lot of these months. So I never screen recorded that many videos like of just me talking, and and also I just kind of been busy as well. So yeah, I just wanted to film another WWE video, but this one is about Drew McIntyre because yesterday I said I made the video about Seth Rollins, why he's not a heel. I explained that, but in this video I'm gonna explain why Drew McIntyre is not a heel. I explained it partly in my last video, but I'm gonna explain more in this video as well, and also I'm gonna talk about some other stuff about Drew McIntyre because there is other stuff that has came out about him recently. So I'm just gonna talk about it, and hopefully you guys enjoy. Like, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, and we're just gonna dive right into this. So I don't know why that popped up. Anyways, so we're gonna talk about why Drew McIntyre is not a heel, because there's plenty of people. There's people out there. There's wrestling fans out there that say, you know, Drew McIntyre, he's a heel. He's a bad person. He's terrible. He's always talking crap about baby faces, and he's always talking crap about the faces. He's always attacking the faces. He's always just being mean or whatever, right? Like there's people out there who believe these things, and it's like that's just not true. At least not entirely, because here's the thing about Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre is not a heel. He's a tweener. He's an anti-hero. And he's not just a tweener, but he's a justified tweener because look at what's happened throughout all these years. Drew McIntyre, constantly screwed time and time again and attacked brutally by the bloodline for months in 2022. And, you know, you can't really blame him for like kind of going to the dark side a little bit. He's not a full on heel, like I said, but you can't, he does have some heel stuff about him, and you can't really blame him for having those heel stuff about him because he's been screwed time and time again. He was attacked brutally, by the bloodline, by, CM Punk. And so you can't really blame him for why he's kind of this bad person that he is and that he's become. He's a justified tweener. And and arguably I would say he's more on the good side of the tweener spectrum, if you want to say. He's more on the good side as well because like a lot of the stuff Drew McIntyre says and does is justified. He talks about the bloodline. They screwed him. At Clash of the Castle, they attacked him for months in 2022. CM Punk costed him, like four title opportunities, three title matches in total, but four title opportunities, just in general, because people probably only remember the, you know, the three matches he was screwed out of by CM Punk, but he was also screwed out of just four title opportunities in general because the day after WrestleMania last year, Drew McIntyre, he fought Jey Uso for the number one contenders for the world title, and CM Punk screwed him out of that too. So four title opportunities he was screwed out of. He didn't lie about that. He didn't lie about the bloodline. He didn't lie about Damian Priest. Taking advantage of CM Punk's attacking him and basically like, and then Damian Priest attacked Drew McIntyre and cashed in on him. So Drew McIntyre hasn't lied about anything. So how exactly is he a heel? Most of the stuff he's ever said and done has been justified. He wasn't wrong. He wasn't wrong, to attack, Sami Zayn and Jey Uso, for all the terrible things that they did to him in the past. Like last year in 2024 in December, Drew McIntyre, he was targeting the OG bloodline. He was a bloodline hunter. And, there was people out there that were like, oh my gosh, Drew is a heel. How could he attack Sami Zayn and Jey Uso? And it's like, bro, did you not pay attention to how to the fact that they tried screwing him multiple times and they attacked him for months in 2022? Have y'all forgotten about that? Like, yeah, there's people who just think that, oh, because you're a face or whatever, like you deserve to be, just forgiven and just everything's just fine, whatever. But like, nah. Like, Drew McIntyre has every right to still be angry at the bloodline and attack them and talk bad about them because they screwed him and they attacked him multiple times. So it's, Drew McIntyre, he's a justified tweener. He's not a heel, but he is a tweener. But he's more on the good side of the tweener, spectrum here. He's more on the good side either way. Because like I said, most of the stuff he says and does is justified. So therefore, Drew McIntyre isn't really a heel. Now, there is times where he's attacked like people like Cody Rhodes, just, because he was angry or whatever. He was like mad about, certain stuff not going his way, understandably so. But, he did the wrong thing sometimes by attacking like people like Cody Rhodes because of it. And, he attacked Seth Rollins multiple times, just being competitive. And so, and, there's also been times where he's attacked like referees for just trying to do their job and whatnot, even though it's understandable why he would be mad at them because, he was screwed multiple times by CM Punk. So it makes sense why he took it out on the referees, but it wasn't the referees' fault for why he was screwed. And they're just trying to do their job. But at the same time, I understand Drew McIntyre's perspective, which is why it's hard to really call him a heel because a lot of the stuff that he says and does, even if it is wrong, is understandable. It's still understandable. So therefore, it's really hard to call him a heel. But he definitely has done some heel stuff, like I said. But like most of the stuff he says and does is just justified. It makes sense. And people like to say, oh, Drew McIntyre, he needs to get over the bloodline. He needs to move on. All he does is complain. All he does is make excuses. And, like that's usually what people say. But like, here's the thing. A lot of the people, like all the people who say that all he does is cry and complain, usually those people never have any good reasons for why they say that because I've debated with people multiple times on the internet about just like explaining how is Drew McIntyre just complaining, and they never could give me a good answer. They never could give me a response, or they'll give me a response that doesn't even make sense. So that's why the people who say he just complains and cries okay, explain how, and if you're gonna explain how, at least give me a good reason too. Don't just say stuff. I feel like some of these people just say stuff because they hear other people online saying it and they hear the wrestlers, in WWE say it. So it kind of just became like a normal thing for them to just be like, oh yeah, just call Drew McIntyre a crybaby, say he complains. Only because they hear other people saying it, but like think for yourself though. It's like, don't just go off of what other people are saying. Like, just because other people say he's just complaining, don't just go off of what they say. Like, be logical here, like, like what exactly has he lied about? For it to be like, because here's the thing: is there times where he does complain? Is there times where he is, kind of making excuses? Yes, that is true, but most of the time, It's not. He's just speaking the truth. He was right about the bloodline screwing him. He was right about Damian Priest screwing him. He was right about CM Punk screwing him multiple times. He was right about the bloodline attacking him multiple times. And CM Punk, like, people make it seem like he just targeted CM Punk for no reason. Like, he just came, as soon as CM Punk came back, Drew McIntyre was just being bitter and was just targeting him for no reason. But no. Drew McIntyre, he explained their past history. He explained that CM Punk, when him and Drew were younger, he explained how CM Punk, affected Drew McIntyre's career and tried to bully him and be the locker room leader and, push him around and treat him like he didn't matter, affecting his momentum. And so when CM Punk comes back to the company after dishing the company for so long, and everyone in it, including Drew McIntyre, because he's a part of WWE. So then when CM Punk comes back after dissing the company, dissing the people in it, only coming back for money, like, you expect Drew McIntyre just to forgive him and just be like, oh yeah, it's fine, you were a terrible person to me in the past, but I'm just gonna forgive you and act like nothing ever happened, and top that off with the fact that you never even try to apologize and to me, and you never try to, like, and you're only coming back for money after dissing me and the company and hoping it would, fall and crumble. Like, you expect Drew McIntyre just to forgive him after all of this? Like, no. Drew McIntyre had every right to hate CM Punk whenever he returned to WWE. CM Punk literally said himself, I came back to make money, not to make friends. So how is Drew McIntyre, based off everything I just said about, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre explained so many times in promos and in interviews why he hates CM Punk, why he didn't like CM Punk when he returned, and why he doesn't like him in general. He explained it all. But some people, they seem to forget that, and they just think that, oh, Drew McIntyre, he's just a heel. He hates CM Punk for no reason. He just targeted him for no reason. He was glad he got injured for no reason. He hates him for no reason. Like, no. Drew McIntyre explained multiple times why he hates CM Punk. So you can't sit here and be like, oh, Drew McIntyre, he's a heel because he hates CM Punk for no reason. He hates the bloodline for no reason. Or he doesn't have good reasons for why he hates them. Like, no. You can't say that because it's not true. And CM Punk literally, like I said in my last video, he's always trying to make the spotlight all about him. Like, there's been times where he'll be talking about someone and they start cheering for him for that other person. He tries to make it about himself. Like, he's done that over the last year that he's been here. He's done that multiple times. And he's always interrupting people's segments, trying to make it all about himself. So it's like, this guy, he has an ego. Multiple wrestlers have pointed it out, like, within WWE, So it's like, yeah, it's like, how exactly is CM Punk a face? How is he the good guy between him and Drew with that whole storyline? How? Like, just literally how? And how is Drew McIntyre a heel for hating the bloodline after all they've done to him? Like, it just makes no sense when people try to say these things like, oh, he's a heel. And they try to say that he just complains. Oh, like, and then when you ask them to explain themselves, either they don't respond. When I ask these people to explain why they feel this way about Drew, why they feel he just complains and why he's a heel, when I ask these people to explain themselves, they either don't respond or they give a response that doesn't even make sense. So it's like, again, Drew McIntyre is not a heel. He's justified. He's a justified tweener. He's mostly on the good side of the tweener, spectrum here. He's, and I'm not saying CM Punk is a full-on heel. He has some good stuff about him. There's been times where he saved the baby faces. He stood up for baby faces. There's been times where, he's even friends with some of the faces as well. But again, though, he is more on the heelish side of the tweener spectrum, because CM Punk, like I said, he never apologized to Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre for the amount of crap he's given them throughout the years. Before he came back. And whenever he did come back, he never apologized. He made it seem like they were the bad guys for still hating him. And then CM Punk only comes back for money. He tries to make the spotlight all about him. It, costs Drew McIntyre multiple title opportunities, and then gets mad when Seth Rollins does the same to him. Like, this guy, he's a hypocrite. He's a narcissist. He's only here for the money. So how exactly is CM Punk a face? He's not. That's the answer. He's not. He was never the good guy. No matter, like, obviously Triple H is trying to write Drew McIntyre as the heel between him and between him and CM Punk. But if you look at it just from a logical perspective, either way, Drew McIntyre is still the good guy. Between him and CM Punk. Like, how, like, so yeah, I don't know, man. Drew McIntyre, he's not a heel. And Triple H, like he sometimes he puts these like fake boos when Drew McIntyre comes out to make it seem like he's like hated on, and people just see him as a heel and hate him, even though like most of the time that's not even true. Like either people, like, I feel like most of the time Drew McIntyre gets cheered because people, whether they think he's a heel or not, they just like him in general. And so people, cheer Drew McIntyre regardless. But like sometimes Triple H and WWE, they'll put these fake boos when Drew McIntyre comes out to make it seem like, to further establish the narrative that he's a heel. But like nobody's really disliking Drew McIntyre and sees him as your typical heel regardless. Like, so it's just, I don't know, man. And Triple H just in general, he I'm gonna get to the next part now, because here's the thing, man. Here's what I don't like about, because I'm gonna get to the next news now, because Drew McIntyre, he was supposed to have a match with Jelly Roll and Logan Paul and Randy Orton at SummerSlam, and apparently the match is now probably not gonna happen because Drew McIntyre is stuck in the UK, and so apparently the match is not going to happen. I did see something about the Miz offering to take Drew's spot, but dude, like, this match shouldn't even be happening to begin with. Like, Drew McIntyre should not be in a freaking match with Jelly Roll. Like, what the hell is this, man? Like, Triple H sucks at booking Drew McIntyre. He sucks at booking in general. I've talked about briefly, like in my last video, with how I'm not happy with where WWE is recently. Like, I didn't really realize how bad WWE is. Like this whole year, and even like, a large amount of last year. Like, I didn't realize how bad it really was until I started watching YouTubers like C-Jax. And whoever's watching this, I'm sure you probably know who he is, but he's also like another WWE YouTuber who talks about WWE, and he makes, similar videos like this where he's like ranting about WWE. And like watching his videos made me realize how bad WWE really is these days, because like it really is. We really are in a bad spot currently with WWE. Like ever since after WrestleMania 40 last year, WWE has gone downhill, because we went into the summer after Cody won the title. It's been downhill ever since. I feel like, before that, before WrestleMania, what's it called? When WrestleMania happened last year and before that, WWE was good, But ever since, man, like, I feel like currently in this modern WWE, since I've been watching it for like 2.5 years now, I feel like ever since after last year's WrestleMania, WWE has just been terrible. And it's all because of Triple H, bro. Triple H just sucks at booking. Like, he's putting Drew McIntyre in a match with Jelly Roll, a celebrity. Um, like, why? Like, Drew McIntyre, he should be WWE champion or world heavyweight champion, but no, let's just put Drew McIntyre in a tag team match with Jelly Roll. Like, seriously? Like, that's the best you got for him. Like, Karen Cross, he's right. Because he made that interview, where he's like, he's like, it's all about viral moments, and it pretty much is, bro. Because you know, Triple H has Randy Orton constantly RKOing these like celebrities, and these celebrities getting in his business, and he had like Travis Scott, interfere in the John Cena versus Cody match, ruining that whole ending. Um, and now he's bringing Jelly Roll. Like, man, it's just Triple H. It's all about viral moments with this guy. Like, and he'll do great things like John Cena's heel turn, the New Day's heel turn, but then he'll not pay it off well, because the New Day's heel turn in the end, look where it's at now. It's garbage. Look where John Cena's heel turn's at right now. It's garbage. And so, like I said, Triple H will do something good, and then he'll not pay it off in the end with a good follow up. So it's like, man, and so yeah, I don't know, but apparently the Miz is supposed to replace Drew McIntyre. That's just like what the Miz has offered up to take Drew's spot. But man, this match shouldn't be happening in general, bro. Like this, regardless, even if Miz takes his Drew's spot, this match shouldn't be happening in general. Like, why the hell is Jelly Roll in the ring? I don't care. I don't care if Jelly Roll puts on a good match. Like, there's people out there that are talking about, oh, I'm excited. Jelly Roll, he was cooking on the mic last Friday, and he cut a good promo on Logan, and he was doing some good moves. And like, bro, to me, I don't care. I don't care if Jelly Roll puts on a good match. Like, this match shouldn't be happening to begin with. We don't need celebrities coming in here, taking wrestlers' spots, taking wrestlers' time. Like, it's like I said, it's all about viral moments to Triple H. And that's all he cares about. He doesn't care about, making new young talent. He doesn't care about, pushing the talent that he already has, the good talent that he already has, like Drew McIntyre, LA Knight. He doesn't care about any of this, bro. All he cares about is just viral moments and basically just trying to make money. That's all it is to him these days. And TKO doesn't make it any better when they're putting ads in the ring. They're putting multiple commercials. Like, bro. And like what's it called? Triple H. Like, what exactly like what does he have Drew doing? Like, even before this, match was supposed to happen with him and Jelly Roll and Randy Orton and Logan Paul. Even before this, what was Triple H having Drew McIntyre doing? Oh, losing to CM Punk, losing to Damian Priest, losing to Jey Uso, losing to Jimmy Uso. Like, bro, you serious? Like, ever since that whole CM Punk feud, Drew McIntyre has just been on a losing streak. And like, it just makes no sense. Like, why do this? Why do this to Drew McIntyre? Drew McIntyre should have won that CM Punk feud, because why does CM Punk need to win it? Like, people are like, oh, it's because CM Punk needed to prove he still has it. Well, CM Punk is still washing the ring regardless. And not just that, but like, he put on a good match regardless in that Hell in a Cell match with Drew McIntyre. So even if he lost, he would have lost to someone like Drew McIntyre, so it would be believable and understandable. But for CM Punk to win against someone like Drew McIntyre makes no sense. Drew McIntyre is way bigger and stronger than CM Punk. CM Punk is like, he moves slow in the ring too. Although, yeah, like, CM Punk can put on decent matches from time to time, like that Hell in a Cell match with Drew. But still, like, even then, Drew McIntyre was carrying that match for most of the time. So Drew McIntyre, he's the one that's really he's the one that really elevated that feud with CM Punk, and but regardless though, like Drew McIntyre should have won that feud. Um, like Drew McIntyre, he was the one that like, and like to me, it's because like here's the thing, CM Punk comes back after being gone for 10 years. He gets in a feud with Drew McIntyre, and then just wins it, and then what? Like, okay, like he won the feud, but like like this should have been a push for Drew McIntyre after he won, the Hell in a Cell. But instead, they have CM Punk win it, and then they do nothing with CM Punk and Drew McIntyre after that feud with between them. So it's like, did CM Punk really need to win that? This should have been a moment where CM Punk puts Drew over. Like who has CM Punk put over ever since he came back? Literally no one. Um, like he's an older guy now. He's done it all, and for CM Punk just to come back and like not like put anyone over, he just comes back and already starts beating people and barely ever loses. And when he does loses, it's always to make him look strong in some way, because it's still like him just getting screwed over. So then it makes CM Punk look strong, and like how he didn't lose straight up. So it's like, man, I just don't understand this, bro. And now CM Punk is in a feud with Gunther. He's gonna for the title at SummerSlam. I mean, I do hope CM Punk wins it, but not because I like CM Punk. But it's mostly because I just don't like Gunther even more. So I'd rather have CM Punk win it, but still, I don't want CM Punk to have that title for a long time. If Seth cashes in, I would be fine with that, especially because it would be payback for CM Punk ruining Drew McIntyre's cash in last year, and for the amount of times he screwed him last year. But if CM Punk wins the title and he ends up keeping it, okay, fine, but only give him a couple month title reign. Don't like give this guy the title for so long. Like, he doesn't deserve it. There's other people like who are more talented than CM Punk. Like LA Knight. LA Knight, what is he doing? Absolutely nothing. He was feuding with this pointless faction, Seth's faction. And now, like, what is he doing? He's not even on the card for SummerSlam. He's not even on SummerSlam. There's, Braun Breaker, he's being established as the new star, but at the same time, they're saying Seth Rollins is the new star. He's the future of the industry. So it's like, it just makes no sense. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like Triple H doesn't know how to book new young stars and just stars in general. Like, the talent he does have, he doesn't utilize them properly, like Drew McIntyre, like I said. So I don't know, man. Hopefully Drew McIntyre does stay stuck in the UK, because I don't want him fighting with Jelly Roll. And especially if they're going to have Jelly Roll pin Drew McIntyre, like, no, bro. That would make me hate Triple H even more than I already do. Like, dude, man, I really hope like Triple H does not do that. That would be the worst decision that he's probably made in like a long time. And he's made some pretty bad decisions, but man, like if Triple H was planning on having Jelly Roll pin Drew McIntyre, dude, then I'm glad Drew McIntyre is stuck in the UK. And even if that's not the case, I still don't want Drew McIntyre fighting in a tag match with Logan Paul and Jelly Roll and Randy Orton. Like why? And not to mention, I forgot to mention this, Drew McIntyre also lost to Randy Orton too. So yeah, Drew McIntyre, he's kind of been on a losing streak. He's won some matches, but most of them I feel like he's been losing them. At least like half of them. So I don't know, man. Like, I feel like people like Drew McIntyre, their talent is being wasted. look at Roxanne Perez. What is she doing? She's in the Judgment Day. She's a new talent. I think she's cut some good promos. She's decent on the mic. She has shown some good skill, and she's pretty. I think she's decent in the ring too. She's put on some good matches or some decent matches. But I don't know, man. I feel like Triple H is not giving these, people like Roxanne Perez some time to shine, and people like Braun Breaker, people like you know, Jade Cargill. Like, he's not giving them their full potential. He's not giving people like Tiffany Stratton their full potential. Like, what is Tiffany really doing? She's like competing against the same people over and over again for the title, and like he's like she's barely even cutting promos, and when she does, she's just repeating the same stuff over and over again. And the thing is, I like Tiffany, but the thing is, I feel like these past couple of months she's just become dislikable because she's just become repetitive and boring and annoying. Her matches aren't really that good ever since her match with Charlotte. And she just hasn't had a good feud since that Charlotte feud. She's just been really doing nothing. She's barely even on TV. Whenever she is, she's just cutting some promo that doesn't even matter. And it's just repetitive. And in the women's division, who is Triple H really pushing? Only Rhea Ripley, like, because she's always in every title match, every single time, bro, every single time, and he let Rhea Ripley just wind her way into that WrestleMania's match this year. He let her just wind her way into that match. Meanwhile, Bianca Belair and like most people have to like earn their title opportunity, but Rhea Ripley can just wind her way into a triple threat and just get it for this year's WrestleMania. I don't know, man. Triple H, he sucks at booking. I'm probably going to make another video tomorrow going more in depth into why I don't like Triple H's booking. But yeah, man, I don't know. Hopefully Drew McIntyre is stuck in the UK because I don't want him being in this match. And even if the Miz does take Drew McIntyre's spot for SummerSlam, I still don't want the match. Like, why? There's just no point of freaking Jelly Roll being in here, bro. Like, dude, like, screw that guy. Well, in WWE, obviously, I don't care about him outside of WWE. I don't have any personal hatred or anything. But within WWE, bro, he should not be there. I don't want him there. Like, yeah. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Yeah, man. SummerSlam's looking pretty wild. In a bad way, though. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. And yeah, Drew McIntyre isn't a heel. That's the moral of this video. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.